Okay. This behind for you.
You done? You done with it already? We're like a minute and 10 seconds in. You're like, I'm done.
It was wicked loud.
Okay. No, they're gonna be a hassle.
Put that up front here for you so you can look. Let me know how you would like these lights.
Okay. Well, I think I'm centered. How are you guys? If you could let Paul know that you can hear all right, that would be helpful. I think the lights are okay. Is this where they normally are?
Mm-hmm. Sounds great.
Okay, good. There's sort of a lag on here, so it's hard for me to... From what I could see, everything looks pretty normal.
Okay.
So,
I like that.
As long as everything is where it normally is,
I don't take normal.
then I don't think we have anything to worry about. We have one cat staring in the door trying to get in. We have another one trying to get out from the other side. So maybe we could organize them. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I want to take a second to let a few people log in to tune in. And we're going to go ahead and get started first with your horoscopes and then taking your questions. While we let some people tune in here, I do want to invite you to check out on Wednesday. So that's going to be Wednesday, the 20th. I have a parent-to-child empathic awareness training. So if you go on to IvyRiveraEmpathicEducator.com, you'll see a variety of empathic awareness trainings for anti-burnout, for people who work as officers or in the health industry. We have some for teachers. We just did, last night? We did a teacher training that's worth 2 career credits. I have them for all different kinds of situations. But on Wednesday, we're focusing on parent-to-child empathic awareness. So this is for parents who are a little confused on how to handle a child that seems to be hypersensitive to loud noises. And 1,000?
You did it.
I'm at 1,000. Thank you, everybody, for your support. At 1,000, everything changes here. 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now it opens me up to a world of possibilities that we've been really working hard on here for a while. So thank you for your support. Please do like, share, subscribe, keep it going. And now, because we have hit 1,000, we'll be doing this show weekly. So you'll be getting a weekly horoscope. And we've rebranded under Ask Ivy. But this Ask Ivy show is the same as the Ask a Medium that I've been doing for 8 years on different media outlets. And I'll be taking your questions about the universe, spiritual development, as well as your personal questions about your money, your love life, lost objects, paranormal, whatever, and channeling your loved ones from the other side. Yay, 1,000.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. Okay, what was I saying? So anyways, we have parent-to-child training coming up. And what happens when you have an empathic child, and you may have been one, because it is genetic. Okay, but it could have come from your partner too, and maybe it is taking you a little off guard. An empathic child tends to like their own space more. And you may always see them even at their own birthday party, hiding under the picnic table or like off playing in the dirt. They appreciate being with nature. They like peace and quiet. They're old souls. They're kind of wise beyond their years. We see this a lot with autism. We see this a lot with kids with gifted and talented abilities. But in general, they would have a hypersensitivity to bright lights, loud noises, anger, aggression, really being around more than 2 or 3 people. Even just being around one other person will drain them after about 20 minutes, things like this you need to watch for. And it will often be misdiagnosed as ADD. Okay, so check it out. Parent-to-child empathic awareness Wednesday. A couple of the free mini classes for the quarantine series that we have coming up. As our quarantine comes to an end here in New York State, we have a couple more. We have How to Hate People Less And forgive more. That's a tough one, right? So Sunday, May 24th. We also have dreams, symbols, and deja vus on Sunday, May 31st. And then we have June 3rd. Intuition versus feelings. How not to make decisions. You should never be making your decisions from your emotions. We know this when they're bad. That seems obvious. But what about when they're good? When you're feeling a high vibe, should you be making decisions from those emotions either? Probably not. So we're going to break all of that down. And I have a special guest on that day, Christina Del Rey, our brilliant astrologer here from the Ivy Rivera Psychic Academy. She is going to be talking about planetary shifts and how those shifts really affect your emotions. And unfortunately, during many of those transitions, people make bad decisions because of the intense influence. So she'll be helping. Love having her on. Okay. I think we're ready, yeah?
Yeah.
Did I say Ivy's Healing Center?
No.
We launched Ivy's Healing Center after 8 years of building it up. 7 days a week, anytime, no appointment necessary. You call the center, you pick your reader or your healer. You receive a remote healing or a reading on tons of different topics, from psychic mediumship to tarot to astrology to numerology to past life readings, life contract readings, from a graduate certified at the Ivy Rivera Psychic Academy. 7 days a week, anytime. Spirit is just a phone call away. All right. Let's get into these. I'm doing it different since we hit 1,000. I'm not using that board anymore because it's just taking up too much time. So we're going to try to speed up the horoscopes a bit, yeah?
We should let them know that they can let rip with their questions, too.
Let rip with your questions.
I'm totally ready. Okay. And make sure to provide a name, living or deceased, so that I won't have to chase you down for it. And we'll get you right into my records here.
Okay, beautiful. So that's it, okay? Paul will start taking your questions now. And once I'm done with the horoscopes, we'll get right on to that. All right. So your horoscopes this week are running from Monday, May 18th to Monday, May 25th. And like always, there's a cat trying to dig his way out of the door. Like always, let's start with Aries. Aries, what do I see going on with you? So the first date that came up for this week was Monday the 18th, and there was an increase with your finances, potentially. It really came into a free will option. And what it felt like to me was that you were in high debate. You really feel as though things are at a bit of a standstill, and you might be almost feeling a pressure on you to make a decision. But I got the sense that you didn't know which way to turn. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Thursday, the 21st, I saw the sun coming out for you. Now, anytime I see the sun in one of my readings, that's a pretty high prosperity symbol, but it's not necessarily about money. It's not that kind of prosperity. It's about your health. It's about a reversal in your circumstances. It's about an uplifting energy, you feeling happier, in general, at peace. You know, I think of a dog in the sun. You know, a dog in the sun is so simple, yet so happy. It's almost immeasurable. And so I see some of that coming to you on Thursday, the 21st. There was also talk on that day about, it looked like contracts, an increase in contracts, or a potential for additional property, possibly even adoption. For those of you who've been looking to like conceive or adopt a child, we may be looking at that. There was also talk of you either going back to work or being hired. And I did see some change in custody battles. So it's very possible that those of you that are in the middle of a custody battle or some kind of legal situation, we could see things a little bit more dragged out on that day. So try to be patient and stay with a sense of peace. On Friday, the 22nd, I saw a potential increase in love for you. Now, love can mean romantic connection. It can also be anyone who's close in your heart or important in your heart. But before you can have that increase, you're really going to be, there's some work that has to be done. And the work basically felt to me like you were clearing out some unfinished business, skeletons in the closet, stuff swept under the carpet. You were looking at your past relationships or relationship with this person, and you were analyzing a lot about what you gave, what you need, how you were receiving or not receiving, and how things like that can be improved upon. So looking at your past and filtering through this information is going to allow you to go forward in a more healthy, productive manner with this particular relationship. Now, I did notice that at one point there was sort of a child energy here. So a lot of you will be experiencing this with your daughters or with a female like energy. This could also be a male with a lot of feminine energy who is sort of in that place of immaturity or neediness, or in that position of receiving the caretaking. For others, I felt like it was in relation to love, but I want to explain this. We're talking about soulmate connection here. Those are significant. You only get a handful of them throughout your entire life, and you need to take really good care of them. Those are the relationships that never go away. Those are the ones that sort of haunt you, if they're not dealt with properly. So whether this be a lover, a child, or this be someone who was a child in your past life, and this is a reincarnated situation, we need to bring this thing to some place of fruition right now. On Sunday the 24th, there's talk of you going inward, and for many of you, you may be hiding in your man shed or your lady cave, or that doesn't sound right, or I don't know if that's what you do. It was almost like you going into a garage, or you sort of just going inward, and hibernating a bit. And so I feel like there's a sense on the 24th of you feeling as though you're broken down in some way, and you just want to get away. I think that while that's great to do, you should also not spend a bunch of time there just distracting yourself. It's okay to want to get away, but some people just sit in front of the TV and that's their solution, or they just drink. Well, you're not processing anything, then you're just wallowing in your misery. So make sure you're processing. Spirit said, examine what needs to be fixed. Aries, have a great week. Moving on to Tauruses. Almost.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you. Okay. Tauruses. What is going on with you this week? On Monday the 18th and Tuesday the 19th. So both days, there's some talk of your ancestors, and in particular, your protector guide shouting at you. Now, whenever they reach the point where they're actually shouting at you, I know that there's something really significant that you need to be listening to in regards to either your own physical safety, your mental and emotional safety, or in this case, it could be those, but they also mentioned your money. So you want to watch your surroundings and who's touching your money. You want to be mindful of any untruthful people in your circle disguising and taking advantage of you for their own benefit. You may have people in your inner circle even who are misguiding you. And I think that what's important when we're talking about, your money and your work or your social setting or your family members, whatever it is, I think that what's really important is to understand that these are people that you already let in, or you're stuck with them in some capacity. There's a sense of like, okay, well, these are my coworkers and my bosses. Where am I going to go? Aren't they all deceptive? We just have to be more mindful. The family blood is not thicker than water. And with your boss, if you're working for crooked, corrupt, corporate life suck of a situation, maybe it's time to just move on. I feel like you need to keep an eye on the company that you keep. We can't keep saying, well, that's just how it is. No, that isn't that's how it is for you. And right now you need to decide whether you want to stay in that atmosphere and always have to watch your back, or wonder if someone's deceiving you, or if you want to move up, level up, and get on with it. Thursday the 21st, there's talk of sadness, loss, and reconfiguring. So on the 21st, you may be having to face that something is coming to an end. Now, remember, with every new end, there's a new beginning. With every door that closes, another one opens. So I really feel very good about this. But I think that regardless, you're going to be going through some emotional and energetic sense of detachment. Okay, so let it go. Friday the 22nd and Saturday the 23rd. There's talk of your prosperity in terms of networking and soul group. I see an increase with your money, but it goes in 1, 2, 3 different steps. So we have the potential for this networking, members of your soul group, or soulmate connections, always meaning people you have work contracts with. And all of this coming in and flowing very nicely for you, but it's sort of like it's really all about your free will, because you could very well tune it out or turn it down. So it's up to your free will what you do with these opportunities. I can't give a 100% guarantee that all this prosperity is going to come to you. It is coming, but it depends on what you do with it, okay? So while it's destiny charted, your free will still dictates what will happen. We have a great class up on the free mini class series here called Free Will versus Destiny Charted Future. You're going to want to watch that. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is to understand that it is up to your free will. The choice is yours. The universe isn't going to tell you in a black or white way, yes, do it, or no, don't do it. You're going to feel like you don't know. You know, that place of being in the gray can be confusing. And essentially what you're going to want to do is let go of any unfinished business, baggage from the past, unresolved issues, skeletons in the closet, shed those, and then in a very easy flowing, destiny charted prosperity direction, you will be able to flow and level up. Tauruses, have a great week. Moving on to Geminis. My fellow Geminis, what is going on with you for the week? We have on Monday the 18th, which is today, talk from your grandmothers, your maternal ancestors, aunties, feminine energy, living and deceased, watching over you, helping you to do a little bit of self-development, cleansing, and clearing out of things that no longer serve you. A lot of this felt to me like self-images, you know. Are you nervous? Are you always pushing yourself harder than what you should? You know, are you trying to live up to someone else's standards? Can you just be more at peace with yourself? I feel like, you know, a lot of you have done the hard work and you're not really reaping the rewards and benefits because you haven't learned to relax and incorporate it all. So those ladies are trying to help you with all of that. On Wednesday, the 20th, I have an increase in love. Now, love meaning romance, but this can also be for some of you, just anyone who's in your heart or is really important to you. I do feel that there is also talk of, you know, a potential engagement, marriage proposals. There's additions to the family with that. We could see an old lover returning from the past. We could see a relationship that was about to dissolve itself. It just become almost like resolved. And, you know, we've decided we're going to work on it. So you might be getting some kind of an agreement out of a love partner that you weren't able to get in the past, or they're actually doing the work. So just be mindful that it is there as a potential. We have an increase here with your money and potential investment outlets, but I did hear you're going to have to spend it to make it. And this ran all the way from Wednesday the 20th all the way to Monday the 25th. And probably beyond that, I ran out of paper because I'm only doing these for 1 week. So it looked like it continued through there for a while. So a theme for you, my fellow Geminis, is going to be investment. What are you doing with your time, with your wisdom, with your money? Where you put it is really going to prosper for you, but this is no time to hold back and hoard what you have to give. So the opportunities are going to be there. It's going to be blatantly obvious. On Friday the 22nd, I heard people trying to get your attention, and they look small. And that can mean that they're small people in the literal sense. That can also mean that they're immature, that they're childish or childlike. I heard these people trying to get you to turn around. Now, what's interesting about that is that anytime there's something behind you, I'm instantly on guard for that. You should always be looking dead ahead. Sodom and Gomorrah, you never look behind you, right? And everything of prosperity goes to the right side of your body, or, you know, just if we were doing linear reading, that's how the energy should flow, or right in front of you. And this was behind. Okay, so that is unfinished business. That is skeletons in the closet. That's problematic energy. But here's the thing. It's not yours. It's theirs. Okay, so if there are people trying to get your attention or a situation trying to suck you back in, even if it comes through as an opportunity or something light or playful or something that's masked as having changed, I think you're going to really want to be on guard for that. what your ancestors wrote here was it's from the past, but they're not ready, or it's not real, or it hasn't improved. Sunday the 24th, I saw you as a train. Whenever I see you as a train, that's going to mean that you are boundary setting and you're moving full steam ahead. And this had to do with other people. I heard stop waiting on them and no more tears. So your ancestors and your guides don't want to see you waste any more time or energy on people or situations that just are not going to come around in the way that you had hoped. On Monday the 25th, I saw you as a train again, but in a very different way. There was talk of movement forward with your residency, with investments, with your job, sort of like as a promotion or a leveling up with your career. There's a general sense of you leaving where you were and going forward. And it wasn't just figurative. It was quite literal, as in location. There was also talk of all eyes are going to be on you and you're going to be seen on Monday the 25th. Geminis, have a great week. That probably lagged. You probably can't use that. Whatever. Who cares? Okay, here we go. Ready? Cancers, my fellow Cancers. What is going on with you this week? Thursday the 21st. There's talk of you being in the basement and looking back at the past. Now, whenever I see someone in the basement, we have to look at this symbolically, just as you would do dream symbology. You know, the head is always the attic, and that's like mental confusion or overthinking, and we go all the way down the body. When we get to the basement, that is unresolved issues. That's toxic energy. Those are blocks. You know, those are things that haunt you, or those are things that you're afraid to confront. And so just know that you're getting a lot of support from the universe and your higher mind to get you through and process those things, because those issues are supposed to be used. If you convert it from negative into positive, saying, okay, I'm not afraid to look at this anymore. You know, what are the lessons here? What have I learned from this? How can I utilize this? It's going to give you strength in going forward, which you're going to need here soon, in a good way. Now, I also saw a garden for you. So some of you might be getting into gardening or getting into more plants, but typically a garden means health. Being mindful of your mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being on that day. Okay. Also, keep an eye for those in your circle who may need an extra hand, especially if you have elderly parents, things like this. People that you're taking care of, your kids, check on everyone's health on that day. Friday the 22nd, I heard you got the key. You got the key. Now, the sense that I had with this was that you were somehow put in a power position. So whether you actually receive it on that day or it's going to come to you later, but it was decided on that day, it very much feels to me like you earned it. And anytime you have a key, you're put in a position of power and leadership, and you have finally graduated up to some new level in your life. On Sunday the 24th, there's talk of an increase in your money. Or we would say prosperity potential in some way, work potential in your money. There was also talk of an increase in your happiness. So it's a little smiley face emoji that they drew here. Very simple, but definitely joy. And on Monday the 25th, this theme carried into it. Increase with money, increase with happiness. But there was something else interesting that came up on Monday the 25th. There was talk of karma being delivered. And while I do think this is good karma being delivered to you because you did what you needed to do, there was also talk of and there were people who did you dirty or were backstabbers, some type of a situation where karma is also being delivered to them. And so while I don't see you sitting on the sidelines, you know, gloating, you may enjoy the karma show. I definitely think you're going to get wind of this or literally watch it. And I do want to say that if the shoe's on the other foot and you're the one who did someone else wrong, the karma is going to be delivered to you, okay? There's also talk on Monday the 25th of closing of a chapter and you attaining some peace of mind that is long overdue. Cancers, have a great week. Leos, what is going on with you this week? Monday the 18th, we have your words have impact on change, or we could say that what spirit and your ancestors are talking to you about is that you have a certain amount of power within your communication skills that are affecting change, even possibly behind the scenes, through other people. So it's sort of like, pay it forward. You have this wisdom, you have the strength, you have this leadership. Maybe you're giving it to someone who will then grow up to be mayor, or who will then, grow up to be president, of the United States, or who will then grow up to maybe caretake over, maybe they become a teacher and they help, other people grow up to be strong, moral, ethical human beings. There's a sense here of your words having more impact on change than what you realize. Okay. So just be mindful of your position and really put the time and energy to be centered in all of your communications. On Thursday, the 21st, there's talk of you in love. I did sense this as romantic, but this could be you in any relationship that really affects your heart a lot. And I felt clarity coming to you on that day and helping you to understand what more you want. So you may be setting up boundaries with some people. You may be leaving situations behind or saying, I'm ready to evolve. I now know what I want. And this is no time for you to cry about it. This is no time for you to say, oh, well, I've invested all these years. Sometimes you invest decades, and you walk away one day realizing that you didn't get anything back out of that except for lessons, and lessons really are the most valuable thing anyways, so that's okay. You can now go ahead and create what you want and need for yourself, and you should. Friday the 22nd, don't take on a victimhood mentality and just stay there, okay? You're not being a martyr for anyone but yourself, okay? So now that you realize that it wasn't enough, then go get what you're deserving of getting. Friday the 22nd, there's talk of opportunity for some of you. It felt to me like it was your child, or it was for someone in your very close circle that was maybe younger than you, or you mentor over. But for many, it felt like it was directly for you. It could be both. It could be you and one of your kids. But the opportunity came in a sense of like a business venture, or some type of a promotional opportunity. It could also be someone coming in and asking to partner up with you, or having a great idea about business. Somebody wanting to support you and promote you. It could also be property, a move, really anything. So keep your eyes open. Sunday the 24th, there was talk of you needing to avoid negative people, including your in-laws, or possibly even your children if they're being super toxic, and take time alone. I just felt you being like, I'm done. I'm going away. Don't call me. And you just kind of left the scene, even if it's funny because it looked like a Sunday dinner, and that does fall on Sunday. If you're the kind of person who gets dragged along into family situations or group dynamics that can be really toxic, this is no day to, just take it. I feel like just leave, Monday the 25th, there's talk of nose to the grind, and you being very focused on your advancement, but understanding that the power that you're putting out at this time, you can really feel it. You feel like you're going to be at it for a while. That's accurate, okay? Yes, it's a long haul. You're not up to the top of the mountain yet. You can almost see it, but you're definitely not there. You're building. You're in the building phase, and I feel great about it, but just keep on building. Chug along, okay, Leos? Have a great week. Virgos, what is going on with you this week, Virgos? On Tuesday the 19th, there's talk of you feeling a little bit stuck and you fishing for information. I feel that the fishing is also symbolic of you being in the water, but being in a boat. So not really touching the water. The water is cleansing. And it's almost like you're putting up some type of resistance or wall or barrier. You are your own block. You may be your worst enemy right now in your own toxic company. I feel that you need to get your feet in the water. I feel that you need to get out of the boat. You need to allow yourself to cleanse and detox, and that will get you unstuck. Sometimes we don't get unstuck or have a breakthrough the way we think it's going to happen. All we have to do is let go of something else. It's not about creating or grabbing onto something else or waiting on an opportunity. It's about letting go of something that's already there, that's in the way, okay, from the new thing coming in. So there's talk of an increase with your opportunities, but I also saw you being a little bit confused about what to do. And it's up to you, but there were 2 question marks on it. It's up to you. It's up to you. Again, when we fall into a free will zone, as much as humans love to think that we really want free will, we don't as much as we think we do. When something is destiny charted, it is very obvious what to do, and the universe supports you in that. When something is falling into a free will zone, you could feel like you're free falling, like you're in a state of gray and in between. There is no black and white. There is no right and wrong. There is no yes or no or official, direction. So you're going to have to feel it out about this decision on what was it? Tuesday. Okay. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. On all of those days, there was talk of you building a new foundation in your life somehow. So this could be with a relationship. This could also be with your home residency or with your work. I saw you building a solid foundation and having opportunities to do that really well on all of those days. On Friday the 22nd, there's talk of clarity on your direction. Okay, so maybe you do get some help this week. Clarity on your direction. Your options and choices will be shown to you more clearly, and a lot of the clarity might come through someone who wants to be a business partner or who is already sort of like a business partner in your life, or a mentor who's going to give you direction. And I would not rule out your ancestors and guides communicating with you through the waking hours, meditation, or the dream state. Pay attention to everything and symbology and numerology. On Sunday the 24th and Monday the 25th, we have a similar theme going on here. There's talk of taking care of your own health or the health of those in your inner circle. There's also talk of a shoulder. So I feel like those in your, I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but those in your inner circle, we're watching for heart. We're watching for heart problems or potential strokes. We're watching for the way that pain kind of radiates outward and sometimes down the arm. We're also being protective of our upper arm and shoulder area. And there's talk of you in your heart chakra, totally different thing, where spirit is saying to you, stop ignoring your heart. And I felt like what that meant was that you're trying to pretend that something isn't bothering you that really is. It felt like it could be connected to a relationship, but it also felt to me like it could be connected to like low self-esteem. So something is bogging you down and you need to clear it out. They are helping you, especially on that day, but always. Virgos, have a great week. Libras, what is going on with you this week? Did you have enough time or you want me to do that again?
Well, that's fine.
Well, now I'm going to do it again. All right, because I already messed it up. Let me take a quick. Okay. How's everybody doing on there?
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
You got a lot of congrats on your 1,000.
Thank you. Yes, if you guys weren't supporting as much as you do, it would have taken a lot longer. Okay, so Libras, what is going on with you for this week? On Tuesday the 19th, there's talk of you needing to let go of outdated ideas. And I feel like this was in regards to your work or career, your money, and your heart. Okay, primarily romantic relationships and your work. Let go of outdated ideas. What are you holding on to that just no longer serves you? There was talk on Thursday the 21st of you needing to go out and be playful. Now, I saw you bowling with some other people. That can literally mean that you enjoy going out bowling. But whenever I see any type of a sport going on, it's about your inner child more than it is that particular sport. And it's about you being able to get free and loosen up and be social or do something in your life that is going to make you feel rejuvenated, even if you're doing it independently. And bowling in itself is an independent type of a thing, even though it's on a team. And so I feel that that might really fit you very well. There was also talk of you needing to play to win. And keep your motives very centered on your ultimate goals for yourself. not the family, not you in partnership with your husband, not the company that you work for. What are your goals for yourself? Stay focused on what it is independently that you want for yourself and play to win on that day. Saturday the 23rd, there's talk of you rebuilding. Now, for some of you, this rebuild is from scratch, the bottom up. So something in your life has been wiped out. Again, when one door closes, another door opens. So this is a great opportunity, not a loss. But there is a rebuilding phase going on right now. I feel that you are going to be doing this happily, even if there are people in your circle who are going through this with you, or who would typically be miserable, in that type of a scenario. And it's sort of like, don't be a miserable cow and you'll have, a happy life. There's just willingness to go with the flow here with you. And I think you really just need to go out there and shine and be like, look, maybe it doesn't make a ton of sense, but I'm just going to be happy and optimistic and feel this as a new opportunity to build more of what I want. I also saw a lot of mention here of it being almost like a garden. Okay, now you may be getting into gardening, but it's better for your health this way. So sometimes we say, oh no, why did this thing happen to me? And it's really because it was toxic for you. And down the road, you may have had serious health problems if you would have stayed in that environment. Okay, so this is beneficial to your health and well-being, mental, emotional, physical. On Monday the 25th, there's talk of you driving a red car very quickly in a forward-moving direction over here to the right. I love, 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 love that. What that means is that on Monday the 25th, you are coming into your power. You're not just coming into it, you're coming into it with a little pizzazz. You have a sense of leadership, and you have a great sense of excitement about it. It is yours. You're owning it, and you're going quickly. You are not looking behind you in any way, shape, or form. I think it's brilliant. Okay, Libras, have a great week. Scorpios, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 18th and Tuesday the 19th, we have 2 days that are very similar or have a similar theme. And there's talk of a potential financial increase, some type of a business deal, a business partner, an investment opportunity coming into you. Again, this could be real estate or something like that. I also feel somebody whispering to you and saying, come shift over here. And you looking at this person who's not exactly in a position of authority, but they've done really well, and you wondering if you should go in that direction. You're going to have to follow your gut instinct on that one. Regardless, these are potential money-making opportunities. And let's look at things this way. Just because you make a decision to do something doesn't mean that's the end-all be-all. You could go back and revamp any decision that you made at any time. You can change directions. Let's not think so black and white about things. What I heard, though, from your ancestors here was, okay, maybe you do want to do this, but you really need to dot your I's and cross your T's. So obviously there is sort of an air of caution here. There's not a yes or no, but there's an air of caution. I also have written here, look at the small print. They wrote that you should look long-term at how you're going to be able to sustain this and either your stress level or the stress that it might put on those in your group or family. But then they said to you, have no fear, but be realistic. So you're really getting a lot of mixed messages here. You're just going to have to process that one. Wednesday the 20th, potential relocation. Okay, potential relocation, either with your work, with your residency, something like this. Friday the 22nd, talk of help and help of others in your circle. I do feel like I'm looking a lot at blood pressure. Again, I cannot prescribe or diagnose. Looking at things like blood pressure, nosebleeds, headaches, pain in the head, okay, which could sometimes mean like blood clots and things like this. So we just want to be mindful of ourselves and those in our circle, especially the elderly. If we could take, just make that extra phone call. So Uncle Frank, if you not talk to him in a few months, nobody really checks on him, check on him. Sunday the 24th, messages on direction coming from your guides, your ancestors. So the direction of your life going forward without a doubt, this is referring back to stuff that's going to be going on Monday and Tuesday. You'll be getting more of a heads up on what you should be watching for and what might be best for you to do from your ancestors, your guides, God, your higher mind. But it's going to come through symbols, the grandparents, living or deceased, communicating with you in your dream states. So keep that dream journal right there next to you in the bed. Saturday, the 23rd, there's talk of you need to be passive with others. I saw that you need to choose your battles, and that sometimes you get around people who are like, bip, 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 and it's almost like they push. And I just see you sort of smiling and staring at him and being like, whatever, I'm not going to walk toward you. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to not say anything. I'm just going to, sort of go with the flow. And it was almost like you were kind of tuning it out a bit. Let them run out of steam. Have a great week, you guys. Sagittariuses, what is going on with you? On Tuesday the 19th and Wednesday the 20th, we have a bit of a similar theme here. I saw you shutting a door on an old chapter in your life and really refusing to reopen it. So that is a very final statement on a relationship or a situation, on a chapter in your life in general. And for some of you, this may be almost like, a graduation or, leaving and moving away to go to school or something like this. But the way that it felt to me was that you are very positive. You are done. You have completed this journey. You've gone above and beyond the call of duty. And I think that it's going to be very rewarding for you. Okay. So I get a sense of like a peaceful hallelujah with this. Friday the 22nd, I heard that you need to get a little bit more educated on a situation. And there's talk of you needing to go into your past to figure out what is unfinished, skeletons in the closet, stuff swept under the carpet, stuff you haven't been wanting to deal with, and utilize that information to look at what you have accumulated in a positive way, what you have done right in the past, and how you can take all of this information and propel yourself forward. So the way they wrote it was that you need to go into your past for the keys for your future, to have no fear and to stop avoiding it. On Sunday, the 24th, there's talk about you needing to really speak out more. Maybe you're the kind of person who says, well, I don't really want to ask for this, or I could just go get it myself. I don't like asking people for things. Or, I've learned to use force or manipulation more than just being direct. But you're going to need to speak on what it is that you really want. And this trickled into Monday, the 25th. There was talk of you taking it with a sword, which you now hold. Now, what that meant to me was that you achieved this sword in some way. So this is symbolic of you having the power to accomplish what it is that is rightfully yours, and go ahead and take it. So I really don't get the sense that you're asking. It's more like I'm making a statement. This is mine, and now I will take it. Thank you very much. Okay, Sag, have a great week. These are going faster.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Oh, getting dizzy. All right, let's see what's going on. Capricorn, what is going on with you for the week? Wednesday the 20th and Thursday the 21st, a little bit on Thursday the 21st. There's talk on Wednesday the 20th. Let's start there. You putting your foot down, you slamming a door on some situation. And while this could be any situation that you feel has affected you emotionally or in your heart, any relationship that has affected you negatively, I did feel that for quite a majority of you, it would be one particular relationship that affected you in a romantic way, or it was someone in your very close circle. There's talk of betrayal. There's talk of someone not putting in effort and having maybe pulled you along for a long time and then just decided, I'm not really going to give back to this person the way that they were giving to me. You have grandparents, ancestors, and guides stepping in here on those days, talking to you about stop listening. Okay, they want you to stop listening to this individual or to this situation that's trying to suck you back in. That you are not to feed it in any way, entertaining it verbally, mentally, emotionally. No. and that this person may be hoovering. If you look up narcissistic techniques, I think there are like 12 that they typically use. I think hoovering is like right up there in the top 4. Hoovering is a technique, you can Google it, but where they try to suck you back in, they try to pull you back in just to kick you in the teeth later on. So what Spirit is saying to you is give them no voice. Give them no voice. Okay, protect yourself. Friday the 22nd, I heard clear it out, but don't expect to clear something out all in one day. I get a lot of clients who do this, and they're like, why don't I feel good yet? Why don't I feel good yet? You know, I wish I could get past this thing. And I'm always like, my first question, you don't need to be a psychic to figure this out. I'm always like, when did it happen? And they're like, 6 months ago, or so-and-so died, you know, a year ago. I'm like, well, you know, psychology says that if somebody died in your close circle, that could take 5 years to recover. Not to say it's not going to get better every day, but 5 years. And, you know, I say, well, when was your breakup? 6 months ago. 6 months ago. But you were with this person for 4 years? Well, psychology says that it takes half that amount of time to start feeling normal again, you know? So we have to be realistic about the healing process and allow yourself the time that it's going to take. But you do need to actively start clearing it out. On Friday, the 22nd, and you had a lot of like grandfather energy and ancestors coming in here who kept saying Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. On Sunday, the 24th, there's talk of you moving forward or moving out. Now, for those of you that are dealing with a breakup, you may just pack up your stuff and leave. You may toss their stuff on the lawn and change locks. I don't know what, but there's definitely a sense of a change in residency in some way, and it really looked more like you leaving the scene or the situation. There was also talk of some of you dealing with this at work. So whether you're changing an office, you're changing a new building, you're going back to a new, place of work for your business. I do feel relocation, and that also went into Monday, the 25th a little bit. So congratulations on your new beginnings. Capricorns, have a great week. Okay. Aquariuses, what is going on with you this week? Monday the 18th, there's talk of water, cleansing, the ocean, the lake, you recharging by getting in touch with nature energy and letting go of things that are bogging down your energy, because there's change coming up here soon in the future that is going to require your endurance. So let the water recharge and cleanse you out. Go with the flow. Don't hold on to negative thoughts. If there's something in your emotions that you want to let go of or negative thoughts, replace them with something positive and become diligent on that day. If you need a new workout routine or a healthier eating style, that would be the day to start it. Wednesday the 20th, there's talk of relationship realizations and an increase in love or the heart. Again, the heart for me doesn't have to mean a romantic partner. It could also mean someone who's close in your heart in any way. But there were relationship realizations, and they had to do with what you really want in love. And the only way for you to really get that is to stop enabling someone in your circle. This could even be a child. And it has to do with reciprocity. Sometimes we're looking at respect, or maybe you're putting in more to the relationship and this person's like just kind of a couch potato about it. Nope, not anymore, because there's boundary setting that's going to get laid down on that day. They're going to have to deliver in some way. And if this isn't someone who is in a position to do that, you're going to be cutting off the enabling and stopping. On Friday, the 22nd, there's talk of you having either a key or wisdom or money. You in some way have a symbolic key, and you're being asked to give it over to somebody else in order for it to come back around to you. And it's really the universe's way in this message of saying, we guarantee it. We guarantee it's going to come back to you. But for some reason, you're reluctant to give that power, that key, that wisdom, that money over. Okay, but it will come back around. I think that you need to not overanalyze it. On Monday, the 25th, there's talk of you getting back on the Ferris wheel. Normally when I see people getting on a Ferris wheel, there's a sense of like, dizziness, or when's this going to stop, or can I get off, or it can be uncomfortable because you don't control it. There's some tatted up guy at the bottom controlling it. You don't know. You can rely on him to stop when you want it to. There's usually a sense of nervousness here, but you, for whatever reasons, are excited to get back on this Ferris wheel. You are thrilled and running toward it, and you look like a little kid in a carnival. So my sense with this is that you're getting back into some kind of a routine, or you're starting some kind of a routine that really sort of ignites your soul and makes you feel like you're on path with your life. And I love it. Okay. So you're just happy to be there. It's a wild energy. Enjoy the ride. Aquariuses, have a great week. Pisces, what is going on with you this week? On Monday the 18th, there's talk of your circumstances holding you back. So you may be feeling like you're limited in a couple different areas. And there's one in particular that is almost like a chain around your ankle. And you're wondering, when is this thing going to give? How long is this going to go on for? And I think that you're just going to have to wait a little while longer. So stop beating your head up against a wall and stop draining your energy thinking about it or trying to find solutions. The Serenity Prayer is a good thing for you to read over this week, where it's sort of like, I'll do everything I can. I'll do everything in my responsibility, and then let go, let God with the rest. On Wednesday, the 20th and Thursday, the 21st, we have some similarity in messaging on that day. So on Wednesday, the 20th, there's talk of you finding a way out. So that chain around your ankle starting to loosen, you understanding how to get out from some of these circumstances that have been holding you back. And on the 21st, there's talk of some investment opportunities, either with your own self-work and self-development or spiritual development, you being able to branch out in a business in some way, or communicate with the public, communications and leadership in a greater way, the media. For those of you that are artists, I see you putting your stuff out there and getting more like eyes are on you. Okay, there's some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? People are biting. There's also talk of additional education or training. So some lights may turn on in regards to where you want to go, with your career or what you want to study. So on Friday the 22nd, there's talk of, you need to listen. It's very possible that you're going to find yourself really, really rambling. And a lot of people don't realize, as a Gemini, I get accused of this. I don't realize when I'm rambling, maybe, but it's a way of, it's almost like a nervous energy, or it's not having any audience awareness. It just, all the information is coming out of me. When you're like that, you have to know that you're completely detached from the right side of your brain. You're not tuning into spirit. You can't hear any kind of guidance. You're not really connecting with the people around you, the universe around you. You're completely shut off, okay? As on as you may seem to be, you couldn't be further out at sea. So you're going to have to calm that down. You have to be mindful. The only way to control bad habits like that is to be mindful. So they're talking on the 22nd about, listen, okay? There's going to be opportunity for an increase with your work on that day, and you're going to miss it if you're being that loud. Sunday the 24th and Monday the 25th, there's talk of, where do you want to be? Okay, so your ancestors and guides are asking you, where do you want to be? And this had to do possibly with you in a relationship or a work environment, but I also felt for many of you, it was about your residency. Where do you want to be? What atmosphere or location do you enjoy the most? And that you are to have no fear going forward. Do not make your choices from a place of emotion or fear. Make them from a place of blind faith if you need to. And understand that there are people and opportunities that are coming in to help you get to where you actually want to be. So you may just have to kind of move away. You may just have to leave it all behind. You may just have to leave everybody behind and say, that's it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to hem and haw. Here's my boat. I'm getting on it. And, it's sort of like pack up, you leave in the middle of the night. That's how that looks to me. And sometimes if you don't do it that way, you may never do it. Pisces, have a great week. That's it. I'm done. I did it.
Time.
What was the time?
50. Well, that's not counting the beginning, so I'd say about 50 minutes.
50? So I shaved off 10 minutes?
About a half hour.
A half hour?
You didn't seem too impressed until you found out the truth.
Wow.
Fantastic. Those
yes.
are great.
Okay, good. Wonderful. How's everybody doing? We're going to start taking your questions now. Good questions. What's going on this evening? Yeah.
Some good ones.
Okay. Ditch those. Do you need one of these?
I do not. First time I'm seeing this hat.
I love the hat.
I don't know if it's.
I think it's super cute.
I don't know, I'm more
That's classic.
Joey on Blossom or like a partial Dwayne
That's
Wayne
hot.
from a different world.
So is that. That works.
Yeah.
That's good. Or you could golf.
I could. This is a pro golfer.
This is definitely the 90s.
Tall Casey.
We're teenagers again. That's true.
This is good.
That's easy for you.
Okay.
Good Lord. Does she
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah,
out, I think?
I'll let her.
What do you want,
Right
Mama?
before.
Hold on. We got to...
Right before.
She'll never... We won't have any peace.
You gonna go in?
Mama, you want to go out?
Go back into the night. All right. I think that's everybody. By that I mean both.
Okay.
Thank you, Danelle. All right. Okay. Let's get going here.
Yep.
Let us start. This is one of the first questions in, and I think it's an adorable question. Terry Quick is asking, I adopted an Australian Shepherd named Bear, and he seems to be afraid of mops and brooms.
Oh.
I was just wondering where he was born and his previous experiences before I adopted him.
Well, I think that mops and brooms for him, I think it's about the height. The first thing that I got was almost like a sense of intimidation. And I think that he sadly may have been swatted. And yeah, I don't, it's almost like, imagine if you were small and that had fallen on you, or you would have witnessed that coming at you. So when I jump into his energy, I'm seeing it coming from the front and I'm feeling it hit me from the back. And so what that can mean is that he was hit in the face or the head with it. And it can also, so he witnessed that visually. And then it can also mean that pain was caused to the back, and especially on the right side. So he may be super sensitive with his right back, hip area and his rear end. And maybe when he looked, then he saw it again. So it's an object. Yeah, it's just sort of unfortunate. And it feels like maybe people weren't very patient with him, in the past. I could be looking at a past life. I could be, but I think that it's very possible it was this one. Was he a rescue? That's okay. Anyways, okay, yeah. Not great. So what do? I feel like when I go with his energy, I just feel like, keep it away. I feel like keep it away from him. I also feel like don't put them standing up anywhere, not in a corner, not, if you're going to hide him in a closet, that's one thing. He's never going to see that. But maybe even let them lay on the ground so that he can overcome it, so that he can overpower it. He can pee on it, or he can bite it, or he could put his babies on it, or he can, maybe you could put some treats over there and he can take over those sticks.
Very good. Okay.
Let's pee on it.
that was a surprise. I'm going to keep the broom.
That would be a surprise.
Yes.
Maybe that's not good advice.
Emily Frazier is asking just for a message from Jack, who is deceased.
Emily wants a message from Jack. When I have Jack coming in, he has a younger spirit about him, but he also feels old and wise. So he feels to me like he comes in as a good counselor and really watches over, I want to say, your heart and how you're feeling emotionally. Kind of like a very kind friend or a mentor. But he says that you're overthinking things. So I get this headache with you. And what that's going to mean is that you're really either overthinking a decision, a situation, a change or transition, or you just in general have a tendency to go way too far to the left side of your brain and not really allow for spirit to show you what to do or to trust your gut intuition. He says you just need to trust your gut and not try and control everything. Things are a lot easier than they seem, believe it or not. He just dropped all these hearts on you. They almost look like cutout paper hearts, you know. He just dropped all these hearts on you, and it was sort of just like showering you with love. He also says he rings your ear. Now, what's interesting is that he's ringing your right ear. And typically when some spirits can use this, not all, but it's called clairaudience, and they usually ring the left ear. What I think is funny is that he's ringing your right ear. So he seems a little off the wall. He's a little different in the way that he communicates and the way that he is. And know that when your ear rings, you may think you have tinnitus or it's like a pressure in the ears. He is giving you a message. Pay attention to your thoughts right after that, and song lyrics. Okay.
Cool. This one is from Bree Battle.
Okay.
Hi there, Ivy. I want to go to nursing school. Do you think it will be challenging for me as I am a stressed mom of 3?
Bree, B-R-E.
B-I-R-E.
Ooh-wee. Will it be challenging? Yup. Let me see. But it's invigorating. So define challenging. You know, it's interesting because it gives you more energy while it's draining. It doesn't make, you can't come at this one logically. Like, is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to be worth it? Yes. And I really think that with this, you're creating, what your work and money guide is talking about is your life contract. Okay. The things that you signed on to before you came to Earth. If you guys don't know what direction your life is supposed to be going in, why you came to Earth, if you feel like you're wasting your time, get a life contract reading with me. It's right up on the website. What they're talking about within your life contract is that by you doing this, you create something called a legacy point in your life contract, as well as an inheritance point, where you get to hand something down to the larger population, but also to your kids. So it's funny that you mentioned your kids in here, because this is your inheritance point in your life contract. You will teach them. You have one that's a little wild and may always kind of go against the grain, but I feel like with the other two especially, but even with that one, you know, you're telling them that what they passionately feel they're supposed to do, regardless of the circumstances. You focus and you set your goals and you attain, you know, you achieve that goal. You don't let anything get in your way or stop you. And I think this is great. You're just going to need some naps. More importantly, you're going to need time away. If you could delegate and actually get away from everybody and leave the house for fairly significant periods of time, you know, maybe 3 hours or so, a couple times a week, that would really help you to recharge, because you can't really recharge in the house. Don't expect to. Okay.
Cool.
Good luck.
Very good. We have one, Nicholas Cherwinski says, I'm a Libra and I'm feeling some positive energy right now, and I was wondering if you could provide some insight as to what I'm feeling.
Well, I had my horoscopes. I can dig around in there, but it'll take too much time. Nicholas is a Libra. He wants to know why he's feeling positive energy. Well, I don't know if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, but my daily message today was, the title was Resurgence. And I talked about that energy boost that everyone's getting right now. So I would say that one of the things that's going on with you is that we have a planetary shift, or several planetary shifts going on that are causing this. And a lot of people, what I talked about in the daily message today was that, and you can go on to Ivy Angela Rivera on Facebook. And one of the things that I talked about today was that because of this resurgence, this energy boost, we could start to make decisions from a place of like manic energy, or like everything's great, super positivity, or like I'm super happy, so this must be a great idea, you know, to do this thing. And that when we're heavy and we're down and our energy is more depressive, we kind of know, you know, or angry, we know not to make decisions from that place. We may, but we know not to. And the risk right now with the resurgence is that people are going to still make decisions from a place of emotion. So whether very, very high or very, very low, we don't want to come from that place. So I feel like the more important thing to focus on right now is that you're being slow and steady, rooted and grounded. And I don't want to be a buzzkill for anyone, but, you know, feeling super high or feeling super low, or feeling like, oh, something really great is coming, you know, we need to, regardless of the energy that's coming at us or the shifts that are occurring, we need to stay steady the whole time. So be rooted, be grounded, and come from a place of intuition, not emotion. But yes, you're right. There's a lot going on. It's not just Libra. It's everybody.
Excuse me. We have one from Melody Dorwood.
Okay.
Said, my grandmother passed a few days ago. What does she want for me to do with the rest of my time on this earth? And the grandmother's name is Pauline.
Okay, she wants you to write. Just know that she's doing really well, and she's an incredible communicator, and she shows you as being like rosy or happy, okay? Happy through sharing of your knowledge, happy through communicating with others, happy either writing or speaking out on social media or publishing your work in any way. These days, when I see somebody writing a book, it doesn't have to be a book. There's so many different outlets, but it is really important that you're communicating with other people and you're giving your healing and your wisdom out to others. That's what she wants you to do. She also said that through doing it, it's almost like people start giving you flowers. So I don't know if you're always finding that you're the one giving to everybody else. You don't get a lot back, but I see you receiving a lot back. So you need to share more of who you really are and what you really know and the healing that you have to give, and it will start coming back to you. It's almost like a tenfold feeling, but she just wants you to know how well she's really doing. And she's very happy to be out of this because it feels like there was a heavy weight here. And I'm wondering if there were some organ problems also at some point. It wasn't her style, you know, to be tied down with all that. She's doing very well. Is very happy. And she said, I'm in good company. I'm in good company. I see a lady over here who has a lot of maternal energy. And I see a gentleman over here who she's holding hands with. Okay.
Very good. That's nice. We have an interesting one from Tristan Marion.
Okay.
It says, what are the best ways to tell if you're talking to a genuine psychic or medium as opposed to a con artist or psychic who's been cut off from the light?
Well, psychics don't get cut off because the psychic ability has nothing to do with the light. So we have a course that we run all the time. The next one is in the fall. Called Psychic Mediumship Development Course. And that will train you in all of this. It's 2 semesters long, but it's amazing. And one of the things that we talk about in there, we have a whole day where we do myth busting and we bust frauds and stuff like this because my students are trained in the highest standards. So they have to prove to me that they're actually getting it from spirit, that they're not faking it, using a couple other key abilities. And you're right, psychic being one of them. So people that are psychic aren't tapping into the light. It's just an ability that we all have. So there isn't one human being still alive on the earth who isn't a psychic. If you're alive, you're using your psychic ability every day. It's the same thing with mediumship. Whether you believe or not, spirits are always communicating with you. They don't care whether you're going to, believe in it or not. They're not going to stop communicating. So that's also very real. But there is a major difference between a reader who is channeling spirit energy from the light. A channeler will always give you what is of highest and best for you to hear. They will even deliver messages to you maybe that you don't want to hear. They'll let you know about things that you need to improve upon in your life. Whereas most psychics are either doing one of 2 things. They're telepathically reading you and they're toying with your energy and they're telling you what you want to hear. So a lot of them would have a very mentally ill following. They would have people that are really lost souls. And then we get the psychics who just spit out whatever they see. And a lot of it is very toxic, even though it's accurate to say, because it doesn't come with a healing message. And it can create self-fulfilling prophecies and be very dangerous for people. So that could also be coming from the dark. So psychic ability does not dry up when a psychic reader is not working with the light. It doesn't dry up. It actually stays. What will dry up is if someone is a medium and they start channeling darker energy, or they deliberately are delivering out toxic messages and stuff like that. The spirits in the light will pull away. And then the only thing they're channeling are dark spirits. And they can mask that. I'm always cautious of people with, what do I look for? I look for the dark eyes, not meaning dark in color. I mean heavy, creepy looking eyes, where they've walled you out. You can't look into their soul. There's no purity there. The angel wing references, constantly with the angel wings coming out from behind them. An over-representation of being connected to the light. In 9 years of doing this, I have never referred to myself as being connected to the angels that is such a sacred thing that to use God or angels to promote your business to that degree says something dark to me. You shouldn't need to. It should speak for itself. Let them speak through you. Don't mark it off of it. So yeah, there are a few key things I would watch for. Also, are they telling you to do something and it just feels to you like it's going against what your own intuition is telling you to do for your highest and best good? Be very, very careful. Major problem today. Huge. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huge.
Get steered the wrong way for a buck,
Yep.
Danielle Minnesale West said, my dear friend recently lost her son Daniel. Does he have any messages?
He feels very sweet, and he feels kind of quiet to me, even though he has a lot of energy, and so he seems to have sort of a wisdom about him in sort of an introspective way. He keeps giving her a red rose, which can be a birthday or an anniversary right around this time. He's also talking about some type of a memorial and a grave. Now, even if he was cremated, there could be some type of a ceremony coming up, but the way that he showed me the stone makes me think like there's something being written in a plaque or something being etched in a stone, or that there's a location that is part of this ceremony, or alongside that, he sees that. He's also mentioning a tattoo and a necklace. Necklace can mean cremation also, but I felt almost like it was like a locket, or it had some kind of a something of his, on it. And I don't know that he gave that to her. I think that she got that, or she had that made or something, but it's of them in memory of him. And I saw words tattooed on. So if she hasn't done this yet, she might be thinking about it, of him. And I saw the wrist. I also saw the upper part of the body right around here. And he said that he's dropping in on her mostly at night because it's easy. So he does a lot of astral travel, and he comes and visits her at night. He wants her to know that those dreams are very, very real. I don't know if he just slammed a door, or if he's messing with the doors like every night or all the time. Sometimes I thought I saw daylight coming through. I almost saw like a living room with a door over here. It's like that door. It's this door. He likes to use the wind, and he likes to use doors and movement of objects to let her know that he's around. And he said, just know that we're supporting you, that you're surrounded. Okay. You're surrounded. We're hugging you. We're supporting you all the time. You're never alone. You're never alone. She needs to eat better. It's like sometimes she doesn't want to eat anything, and then sometimes it's just like, yeah, I can tell this is like a bowl of cereal or it's something. It's just not really healthy. It's sort of like snacking, sort of like eating like a bird at different times. It just, he just wants to see her on more of a healthy routine with all of that. He's very happy. He wants her to know that he's happy. And I feel like she asked a lot of questions. Could I have done something more? Could I have prevented this? He said, it was my time. Let it go. Okay? Let it go. Thank you for that question. He thanks you for that question too.
That's sweet. That's a good guy.
Yeah.
Monica DeQueen.
Okay.
As in regards to finances and career, she said she needs guidance and feels so lost. Okay. Okay. That's right.
Monica wants guidance on her finances.
In career, yeah.
Oh, career? Let's look at career. All right. So if I look at your life contract, what I feel is that you're supposed to be severing something. I feel like you're approaching a pivotal year. You only get a small handful of pivotal years in your life contract, and you want to take advantage of every single one. I do feel that you would have missed a deadline on your last pivotal year. So what's going to happen if you make these changes is that things are going to move very, very quickly. Okay, you're within 2 years of this, which means that you could be going through a detoxing phase right now where things that no longer serve you, relationships, career, money, housing, anything, old ideas that you have, they may be trying to go, and you should let them. I do feel that what you're really supposed to be doing is taking on more of a position of leadership. And I do see you working on like a computer, which can mean that you're working with information in some capacity. Does not have to be through technology, but that is a technology reference for sure, where information is being passed back and forth. I feel you having the ultimate stamp of approval on some things, meaning that there's sort of a authoritarian feel to what you could be doing. And you could be saying, you know, my voice is the final voice, or this is what's right, or this is what's going to get passed and approved. And I feel like you understand what's written within these agreements. But I think that right now you're just sort of treading water, and you've been under the boot of a system that really doesn't feed your life direction. I don't feel that the company that you've been working for really is bringing to fruition any major purpose. There's sort of just nothing there. It's just been a lot of emptiness. And so it really is definitely time to rebuild. Yep. And your prosperity will come with what you're doing. There's almost a consultant feel to this too. It's almost like you're, you know, self-employed. You're like doing it on your own. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But prosperity, not just with the finances, but also with your well-being and being within your life contract is going to be huge for you. It's also going to affect your relationships. If you've been feeling like your relationships are a little bit stagnant, it's going to change things there as well. Okay.
Jamie Lynn Marinaccio. I had been feeling a deceased friend named Dylan, then found out it was his daughter's birthday yesterday. Is this him? I'm new to all this, and I can't tell, but feel like it's a sign I'm on path.
Well, you know, none of us are new to any of this, but we do reach points where we become more awakened and enlightened, and we do start recognizing these things that were always there that we were overlooking, and that's definitely what's going on with you. The fact that you know, he's coming through and hoping that you would give a message to his daughter means that you are now starting to attract spirits to you that feel that they can deliver messages. Now, like I said earlier, we're all mediums. That's a given, and there's nothing you need to do with it. You just are one. But at some point, we reach a level with our abilities where spirits start to recognize it, and they'll come to work through you. And one of the ways that they're going to work through you in particular, because we need a matching, okay? We need a language that can be understood. So we need a pairing of the clairs. And so this is, again, in the psychic mediumship course. I would recommend this for you to learn the language. But one of the things that happens with you is that you're great with symbology, and you're great with clairvoyance. So these two things are going to pop up in your mind's eye, right? Symbols, or you think of that person, or you have images. He is using this to let you know that he's around. Other spirits are going to be using it too. So absolutely. And once they realize that your light is on, so to speak, you know, they tend to not really care. He will, because he's a friend, but they tend to not care, you know. They just come all hours, and they have tons to say, and you will want to, the next step will be learning how to put your foot down and set boundaries with them to let them know, nope, not now, not here, but maybe Tuesday at 3 o'clock I'm taking messages, or, you know, whatever it is, or start actually channeling and doing the work. But you're definitely, especially at night and between 3 and 5:30 in the morning during the haunting hour, you're definitely going to want to start putting your foot down, because otherwise they'll bombard. Okay.
Bree had said thank you so much in a bunch of hearts.
Oh, good.
And Melody said that she's glad that her grandmother's in peace and with her grandpa.
Yeah.
So everyone is very, very thankful for these. I missed some of them. I'm so sorry.
Good. Thank you for your questions.
Okay, so we have one here from Danielle Johnson. Said, my friend Seth died 5 months ago. Is he with me when I'm doing my activism work in the community? And does he have any suggestions about my upcoming activism work?
Ooh, hi, Danny. Seth, yes. He is talking about 5 months out from now. Now, just in case I messed that up, I'm going to say 5 weeks. It could be as soon as 5 weeks, but it felt like 5 months to me. And he said the 5th month going into the 6th month, you're going to push. So I don't know if you're given an opportunity to make a speech, or if you're put into some position of leadership, or if there's some type of a protest or something that you either need to organize or you need to participate in. But I saw you, it's almost like he shows me like a picket sign, like a activist, protest. And I see you yelling, and I see you really putting your voice out there in a very different way than what you have in the past. And so he said the next step, just focus on that. Just focus on what's coming up with that. Again, 5 to 6 weeks. I thought 5 to 6 months. And what seems to happen after this is almost like your voice comes out. It's almost like you're no longer choked out or unsure, because you have a little bit of a hesitancy sometimes about either what exactly your role is in it, or how exactly to say it, or are you ready, or should you, or will people back it? And I feel like you lead, they will follow. You lead, they will follow. So you're having some type of a breakthrough around that time, and you're not only being supported by him. I've been so emotional this week. It's like, maybe it's hormones, I don't know what, but it's almost like I see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people behind him who suffered. Okay, so this is big. Let's move on.
Okay.
Quickly.
So Maggie Montoya says, "Hi Ivy, could you see if in my future I will be working as a death doula for hospice patients? I'm getting into nursing school and feel this tugging at my heart."
I just did. Didn't we just do
Wednesday.
the free mini class? We did death coaching, and we talked about hospice, and yes. So do I feel you getting in? Is that her question? Am I going to get in on the program?
Could you see if in my future I'll be working as one?
Well, I feel you will. So whether you train through the academy here and you learn how to do it, or you train through there and you learn how to do it, I do absolutely see you doing it. I think that this is part of your calling. And I think that it's, I don't want to say that it's rare, because people aren't educated enough on it to even know what it is. People don't think about it. But, it's rare, I guess, to see somebody so energetically aligned with the stages of life into death, with the transition of energy from this plane to that plane. And so it's very, very much there. I also think that it's funny you said doula, because I feel like in a previous life, you may have literally been a doula with pregnant women. And so you may have dealt a lot with that transition from the other side into this plane. And now it's almost like you're finishing up that work with this plane back onto the other side. You're completing a cycle for yourself of work. And you had 3 previous lives where you invested a lot in this concept. But this is sort of like the one where I feel, and this is maybe, I don't know, maybe it's inappropriate, but I feel like you're really having fun with it, and it's the type of thing where, like, when I talk about death coaching, like in that, free class that we just posted up here, I have fun showing the deceased how to properly communicate. I have fun working with the families, learn how to better talk to their loved ones. There is a level of enjoyment in the communication. We shouldn't look at it always as such a heavy, heavy process, It's just an illusion anyways. And so I feel like you bring that level of excitement to it. And while, yes, we want to be appropriate, I think that you're going to be able to keep that vibe high. And I think that's what a lot of people can't do. They get drained, and it's like, don't allow yourself to get drained. It's positive. And so, I think it looks great. Congratulations.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'd never heard it called that before. So that is very interesting.
Well, there you go. Maybe start your own business. I don't know. Maybe it is called that. I've never heard that either.
Anna Marie asks, "Hello, I'm nervous to ask, but I'm wondering if you could tell me anything about my father, Robert. I've never met him."
Anything? Well, that's like the whole life. I mean, anything? I could say anything, I guess.
That's how she's
is there anything I could tell you about your father, Robert? Let me ask him. I'm assuming he's deceased. I don't know. I'll ask his energy anyways. I feel like he's a very sort of divided guy, sort of walled off and a little detached or unavailable, but very talkative, kind of like funny and charming, and maybe like to have some drinks. So we would get even funnier and charming. I think that he would have maybe thrown a couple fists. I think that he would have not been the kind of person you don't step on his toes or cross that line. He may have been a bit of an instigator sometimes, but I don't feel like he threw his weight around to bully or to control as much as sometimes he was just a little bit out of control. I actually feel like he's a pretty passive guy, the majority of the time. It was just like good times. He didn't care. He doesn't care. Almost like a Taurus, he kind of has that Taurus feel, with a little bit of Aries in there. And that's what gets him in trouble. And I think that this sort of detached, energy that he carries, maybe through like drinking or, wanting to be really social a lot of the time, maybe even in inappropriate ways, that was his way of being. And it wasn't really a super healthy balance. And so he was kind of divided within himself. He said that he kind of argues with himself. He was maybe his own worst enemy and battled himself and really understanding who he is and what his worth is and what he wants and how he can achieve it. And he may have struggled a bit with the world around him, getting to where he really wanted to be. And so always felt like there was some type of a fight, just some type of a fight going on. And he would get tired of it, because again, he is a lover. He really is. And I feel like you're like that a lot. And I feel like sometimes maybe you're overgiving. Okay. So I would say if there was one thing that he could say, to you, it would be, don't overgive, set your boundaries right. Look at your own self. If you're doing too much out here with other people, it's probably because there's something inside that you need to fix.
Jamie Lynn Marinaccio said, I'm so grateful. Thank you again.
Oh,
and,
you're welcome. Thank you.
Danny Johnson says, wow, thank you so much, Ivy. That was perfect. Thank you for your spirit and your heart.
Good. Thank you, Danny.
Okay, so we have one from Robin, who is watching along with Danielle, Minnesale West. She said, any message from my mother, Bob?
Okay. She's a little bossy. She could be a lot bossy when she says, well, this is my stuff. This is my stuff. So I feel like, yes, but some of it wasn't. So I feel like, I know what I'm looking at here, I think. I feel like she would have been a little maybe controlling or really knew how she liked things done, okay, with her circumstances. And you couldn't tell her no. You couldn't tell her different. Once she knew something was right or she knew something was accurate, it was going to be done this way, and that's it. And so she wasn't very open to manipulation or others' interpretations. And I actually think that's good because she seems to be right. Okay. So it's kind of like she's right. But she may have also done that with the kids or other people, okay, in her circle sometimes. And she makes me feel like this may have been it almost hurts in the bone. So I don't know if this was a chest or lung issue, like a heart or lung issue, but like a radiating pain. And it almost felt like something that ended up being, whether it was like a cancerous condition or it was a systemic, okay, it felt systemic problem with her. And she says that she's really happy to be free of all of that. But I do feel like sometimes she tries to come and it's almost like rock you, I hear her humming and it's sort of like humming and thinking, and I feel her humming and like coming and holding you and wrapping you. And she said, if I could get one message out today, she said, and this is for everybody, this is for all the kids watching, it's sort of like, don't overthink things. Don't waste your life overthinking things. That's it. Wait until it's time. And if the problem arises at all, and it may not, then you deal with it. Don't overthink. Don't waste your life worrying. Okay. She loves you very much.
That's a great message.
Yeah, I don't think feels like she said it as much, as she could have, and maybe she did, but she was, also very busy. But I just feel like, say it, make sure you say it. Make sure you say it. She just wants me to keep saying it. She loves you. She loves you. She loves you. Okay.
You get a few more people saying thank you. Danielle Minnesale West and Robin say thank you so much. And Maggie Montoya said thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And a smooch. Hey, back off. That's my lady. Okay. So we have one from Bridget.
Okay.
She says, do you feel a change coming for me? Maybe in residence or relationships?
How many?
That's it for you.
Bridget. Do I see a change coming for you? Well, I guess the easiest way to break this down is to look at the upcoming year. So I have a change coming up at could be 3 weeks. I was feeling more like 3 months. And then in the 8th or 9th month out. And it feels to me like that's relationship stuff at the or 9th month out, 8th month going into the 9th month. And the sooner one, what was the other question she asked? Work?
Residence or relationships?
Oh, okay. Residence or relationships. Well, I feel what's coming up here sooner is the money. And so I feel you looking at your money and how that relates to your residency or what you want and things like that. So yeah, I do feel movement in both areas. I really do feel like it's a lot of free will though. I can't say like this is going to land in your lap. This is destiny charted. Just because it's destiny charted, these two time periods are going to be activated and give you a lot of opportunity. I can't say what exactly you're going to decide. You have free will. I would definitely plan and maximize though. And that's awfully soon. Both of them are. Okay, so really get prepared. I want to say in terms of the relationship too, I would recommend you the relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class. You know, that's up on the website. Cut some cords and let some of that baggage go because you do carry a certain message in your energy field that reads as a little standoffish or unavailable. And you may almost overcompensate with over nicety or compliance or like, no, I'm engaging, you know, and it's sort of like, but then there's this sort of energy behind it. That's going to send conflicting messages and you don't want to attract duds. Okay. But yes, there is someone positive coming in here potentially. Let's get that out of the way. Absolutely. Good. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to Spirit. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. And again, thank you so much for getting me up to 1,000 subscribers. Now things are really going to change and take off with the program. I'm looking forward to it. And because of that, we are now weekly. So I will see you back here. This one, Monday, May 25th at 8 p.m. for Ask Ivy. Have a great week, everybody.